sneaking out and you're doing some good things. You don't really go all over the place. So I felt that was, you know, but that hit me to a point where it's like, oh, I could go just like that for true. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
it kind of just changed my whole life. And then I feel if I'd like everyone, like the others, like who didn't make it, if that was me, then it would have been like, wait, what I do, Dread? Because I was inside it like, Mika, you still ain't do nothing yet. Like, really do nothing.
Legacy. So
So now it's like, I get that next chance to really come out there and put my all out. Like, it's me getting a lot to put in, so I could even put out more. So that's why I like this whole relationship, getting closer with God and finding out what my purpose is, and really finding out that like we all here just to live out our purpose. So it's me trying to figure out what my purpose is. And that's something I've been praying for from 2012. Because that's how I end up doing the whole Sawyer Boy thing and everything like that. So 2012, my prayer was always to show my purpose. And now I feel like getting a little more closer there. Especially with God and things, so I could push it and, you know, I could be me.
you're gonna be you.
I could be me, I could always be me, but I could still give thanks, and because I couldn't be in this far without God.
Definitely, definitely. So you started to talk about your recovery.
Right.
So how long were you in the hospital, and once you came out, what was the reaction of your children, your mom, your family,
It was...
when they saw you for the first time?
All right, well, with that, when I came out of the hospital, well, I've been in the hospital for 2 weeks. I got COVID for a week before I go in it. I got in the hospital on my son's 20th birthday. On his birthday, that's the first birthday I ever missed. And, you know, and so I go on there on his birthday on the 21st of August, and I've been there for 2 weeks. So I just was talking to them through the phone and WhatsApp or whatever, but when I came out, I still couldn't see them.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
it was like, I wasn't sure. I ain't know, and at the same time, I ain't trying to catch nothing from nobody, so I couldn't see them like that. And I was staying by someone, one of my friends, because she's a respiratory therapist, so she was helping me get back with the steaming and all this good stuff. And the first person I saw was my son, because he had the bus, he was driving, making the runs and things. And when he did come in a few weeks, like a week and a half after I was done getting myself together, like he walked in the door, but I just burst out crying, Dread. Like I see him when I trying to, you know,
Trying to be a bad boy,
and then
yeah.
it was like, wait, but I still had shortness of breath, and I trying to talk, and it just, I cry, and I see him trying to, but I know what that is, because that's him trying to hold it back too. And then I see my mom with them and things like, but at the same time, happy to see them, but we still can't hug and do that.
You had to make sure that you were...
Right, it take away from that, and I hug my mommy until my birthday, because my birthday is on September 28th. I come out on the 2nd, break down.
September 28th.
Yeah, give her the first piece of cake and break down. You know, break down, and you know, had everyone crying.
You're getting soft in your old age,
yeah,
man.
boy, I crying, but I don't even know.
No, don't mind me teasing you.
Wait,
but we will have to have you back on Journey TV. We will have to have you back on Journey TV. I'm only ending this because we're out of time, right? So thank you so much for coming and
for sure.
being transparent with us. Yeah, like I say, in your old age, you know.
Yeah, man, dating all and dress up, and then come out there and I saw for you. Like, talk to me too long. Don't talk to me too long about my kids and things, but that's the only reason why I probably ain't cry yet. When it's hard talking to my kids, I just break right down.
That's okay. That's okay. This is life. This is life. But you have gone through an extraordinary journey, and I believe that things are going to come out that you don't even know going to come out. You soon transition into an author. Hello.
I listen to me, baby.
You could have a whole different platform when it comes to this. But like I said, we'll have you back to hear all about that. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Mom.
And thank you for joining us on this special episode of Journey TV with Sawyer Boy. Until next time, give love and light to the people around you. But most importantly, don't forget to give it to yourself. Join us next time for more Journey TV. Journey TV is presented by Ensure, Sign Island, Wildflowers, Dan Brad Limited, and Footprints Journey Blog.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the 2 fishermen fared lost at sea have been found. Also, hundreds of cruise passengers from 4 cruise ships swarming Port Lucaya. And administrators and staff at the Grands Bahama Children's Home reflecting on the royal visit. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Missick. Thank you so much for joining us. Topping the news, they were overdue on a trip to Grands Bahama from Sunday, drifting on the high seas for 3 days and battling strong weather conditions. But the 2 fishermen say they were determined to stay alive and did what they could to keep the vessel afloat. This morning, a glimmer of hope came when they were able to make a call using a cell phone, and that call set the rescue plan in motion. Arjun Quant picks up the story.
3 days on the water, Andrew Roll and Zephaniah Penniman are now being towed in by police officers. Now Basra, the Defense Force officers, Ricky Martin, and a number of boaters went out looking for the men. They are now here pulling in, as you can see right behind me, at the Grand Bahama Yacht Club. Spending days lost at sea with only water, Andrew Roll, a.k.a. Kunkale Kunkala, is reminiscing on the ordeal, which he thought would have been a quick journey to Grand Bahama.
The weather just changed on us. The weather was good for us, then the weather just changed. And we get catch 8 in the weather, and that was it. We couldn't come out of the weather. So we had to keep on running. And everybody who have boats know, bad weather and gasoline don't go good together. I didn't know gas would run out till I saw the gas gauge on almost there. And I said, oh, this gas. So I put back control to make sure that I could preserve gas, but it still run out.
Roll says aside from feeling good being back on land, he is tired, drained, and a little disappointed after being passed on the sea by a sailing boat. Now he says on top of that, and running out of gas, his next concern was the boat taking on water.
This boat is designed, it's just a pro line. It have automatic gauge in and out. And if you're not careful, water be coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out. Sometimes the water come in and it goes inside the beach area and it stays in. When you move around and water come in the beach area and you're waiting the boat, it pushes that down. So that was a big concern of mine. Yeah.
Now Zephaniah Penniman and his dog Grits accompanied Roll on this voyage. He says after hours went by, he knew something was not right, adding that they did not sleep as the boat eventually began taking on water.
I knew something went wrong. After running from 6 in the morning till 12 at night, and we ain't seen no land, I know something was wrong.
What do you think went wrong?
It's just that we missed the course. We went too high. We went too high on the course. I know it's going to make it. Because the only thing, the boat was taking some water, but we took time. He take over the night shift, I take over the day shift. He bailed 30, 40 gallons a night. I do the same thing in a day.
Captain Devon Archer, rescue coordinator at Basra Grand Bahama, says although this was a rough one, Basra, the Defense Force, the Police Force, and the U.S. Coast Guards all joined forces to locate the men. He says they were searching for them since Sunday, and when they received word that Roll had contacted family members, Alive assisted by advising which tower he was closest to.
I kept getting updates from them. I got 3 different updates from them. Okay, his phone is now pinging off this tower. It's now this tower. And because of that, I was able to narrow down where the plane needs to search.
I contacted Mr. Giovanni, who is a member of our engineering team, and he would have searched the system, found the coordinates, and as soon as we got that, we would have forwarded over to Mr. Martin. And from there, we did our best, and we are happy that we were able to partake in this.
Once locating the area, with the help of Alive, Captain Archer contacted and told them to listen out for the plane. Roll says the call was a sign of hope.
I said, "You see me now?" He said, "No, I don't see you." I said, "Wait, I see you." And I was at the back of him. I said, "Turn around. I'm on your starboard quarter. Do you see me?" And I heard him scream to his friend, Penniman, "You see the plane?" He said, Yeah, I see the plane." So we knew we had him.
Then the gentleman who called me on the phone tell me, but if I saw him, I tell him yes. he started circling wrong and he wrong and wrong and wrong. I realized that we was rescued because he wasn't leaving us. That made me feel really good.
Despite what may have happened in the last 3 days, the two men says they are going to enjoy the rest of their trip here on the island while promoting keeping the Bahamas clean. I'm Azure Quant, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Azure. Today was a big day for the Port Lucaia marketplace. Scores and scores of cruise passengers strolling through the shopping and entertainment center. It was the first in a very long time visitors could be seen shopping in the marketplace. For vendors, well, they say it was a sight good for sore eyes, and tourism officials say they hope today's visit is a sign of things to come. Here is Jay Philippe.
Some 500 plus tourists visiting Port Lucaia. The visitors were passengers from 4 cruise ships that docked at the Freeport Harbor: the Norwegian Pearl, the Norwegian Sky, the Oceanic Voyage, and the Grand Classica. General Manager of Tourism on Grand Bahama for the Ministry of Tourism, Stephen Johnson, says it is a major step in the revitalization of the tourism sector on Grand Bahama.
This is a great day here at Port Lucaia. We had about over 500 people that came through the area throughout the day. And over at, we just left the Darvels over by Celebrity in Holmes's Rock, Deadman's Reef, and they had, they're going to be getting about 450 people out there swimming with the pigs.
Johnson also adds that this is just the beginning of a number of initiatives that the government has put in place to boost the tourism economy on the island.
So the DPM and the Minister for Grand Bahama were talking about the objectives of bringing people into the Port Lucaia area to spread some of the love economically. We brought it, and so we're looking forward to further collaboration with the Ministry of Grand Bahama, the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, all the partners, to get the cruise ships to allow visitors to come here and experience Port Lucaia. We want every person that touches here in Grand Bahama to come into the Port Lucaia area and to other areas, the fruit vendors and other areas, and enjoying the tours in Grand Bahama.
With less restrictions now in place for visitors to travel to the Bahamas, which of course includes Grand Bahama, the tourism chief says Grand Bahamians directly involved in the tourism industry can expect more visitors to the island in the coming months.
This is going to be our numbers for cruise ships from January. This is going to be a very strong year for Grand Bahama. I think it's going to be a record-breaking year from the numbers we're seeing. But the DPM, they are reaching out to other cruise lines. We have a video that we've just produced to show all of the assets and the wonderful things, sustainable tourism, things that are happening here in Grand Bahama Island. And that will basically encourage people to, because it's a good thing for a ship to come here. But a person stay on, it doesn't do anything for us. And so we want to be able to get them off, to show them all of the wonderful things that we have here in the island of Grand Bahama.
On hand at Port Lucaia was Senator James Turner, who tells us that he was pleased to see the amount of visitors on the island. Turner says the government of the Bahamas is committed to doing its best to attract visitors to Grand Bahama from around the world.
This is the time that reminds us of what once was and what we got to reclaim. You know, we've been saying for a long time on Grand Bahama that we all ought to participate in the prosperity of the islands of the Bahamas. And today is wonderful. 4 cruise ships in the port. You see the buses moving around. You see the vendors negotiating. You see the tourism folks smiling. This is a wonderful and this is a red letter day for Grand Bahama. This is the beginning of a new day for the people of our island.
Now, according to tourism officials, a rotation of cruise ships is something that tourism stakeholders and the government is focusing on as Grand Bahama attempts to rebound as one of the premier destinations in the Bahamas. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, vendors on Grand Bahama getting some much-needed financial assistance. An announcement coming yesterday that government will provide emergency relief for straw and associated vendors in a couple of days. We have reaction from vendors in Port Lucaia who made an appeal for assistance last week, noting that they continue to struggle to make ends meet. Jay Philippe has reaction tonight.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, recently announced that the government of the Bahamas has approved the distribution of emergency financial relief grants in the amount of $500 to assist each existing straw vendor in the Port Lucaia marketplace, in addition to other tourism-associated vendors operating tourism centers on Grand Bahama. For these straw vendors in Port Lucaia, they say the assistance is much needed.
It's a new day, and money is on the way. So I thank God for the government, and I really looking forward to it because it's been really slow here in Port Lucaya. It's been really slow. You see, we have tourists in today, but not buying. I'm glad to see them, but they're not purchasing anything. I think they're already been to Nassau. So it's nothing we could do. I'm glad to see the tourists. And I thank God for my $500 because that is going to put some stuff in my shop.
I have to put stuff in the shop, pay a bill or so, but I really appreciate it because you all up here today and you have an idea of what it's been like. 1 or 2 tourists here today, but you know, it's a lot of back depth and stuff like that. So it's going to be good. I really appreciate Miss Moxie and Mr. Cooper for what they're doing so far. It's a great job.
The grant follows a recent tour of the Port Lucaya Marketplace by Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, who sought to bring immediate relief.
I am very grateful. My plans is to get products for my shop because it's badly needed. And I really appreciate the government taking the time out to come and see our concerns in the Port Lucaya Marketplace. And the $500 is needed, badly needed. I wish it was more, but I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for what they extend to me.
During the visit, the vendors openly addressed concerns about the low number of tourists on Grand Bahama. So far, these vendors that are expected to receive the Emergency Financial Relief Grant on or before Friday, April 8th, they say the timing is perfect as they try to increase their inventory in anticipation of an upswing in visitors to Grand Bahama.
I feel about it because it's very good and it's going to help a lot of us. Because right now, there's nothing happening in Port Lucaya now. They're trying to get some tourists up here, so it's very good to help the people. The funds, I would put things in my shop. What we don't have, and you put it in.
Right now, I have a lot of backup bills, so definitely I'll use that towards the bills, you see. And hopefully we get tourists come here and, like they promised, they will open up the beach and promote the place. And so once they do that, we'll be okay.
Now, in a press release statement earlier, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, said that the Davis-Cooper administration is committed to providing immediate, passionate social relief for Bahamians whose lives has been devastated by disasters. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Faculty and staff of the Bishop Michael Eldon School paying tribute to their former principal, Anita Doherty, who died over the weekend. The teachers recalling that Doherty was a strong and compassionate leader who was deeply concerned about education. Tonight, they say she may be gone, but she will never be forgotten.
Are you a duck or are you an eagle? I don't do flipping ducks at this school. I have an eagle school. That is Miss Doherty.
The Bishop Michael Eldon Warrior family remembering a giant of a woman, former principal Anita Doherty, who served for years at the private institution on Grand Bahama. Principal Cheryl Wood recalls Doherty as a dedicated professional.
I am new to Warrior Country, but I am a 5th generation Anglican. And Anita Doherty and I connected on those levels. And we also connected during principals' meetings. And I can tell you she was the consummate professional. If there was a job to be done, you would ask Anita Doherty and consider it done.
BMES head of middle school, Mr. Nair, says he's known Mistress D, as she was affectionately called, for the past 20 years, and he can still recall the first day he met her.
I could still see that smile that I saw the first day when I met Miss D, even right in front of my eyes. She wasn't just a vice principal. To me, as a young teacher joining Freeport Anglican High School at that time, she was everything. She meant a lot to us on a daily basis. She makes sure that you are okay. You leave the school at the end of the day with a happy face, not with a heavy heart or with a sad face. That's how she was.
BMES Primary Vice Principal Miriam Carroll remembers Doherty as a motherly figure to all.
She always had my back. She was always concerned that everything was going well. She was so pastoral. This was a ministry for Mrs. Doherty. And for students and teachers, that was all she was concerned about. There was nothing she would not do to make sure that everything was going well with you.
Administrative Assistant Tiffany Sweeting-Smith says Doherty was an all-around outstanding woman.
She's also been the motivator. She's been the confidant. She's been the person that supplied every need that you could think of. We had children that sometimes didn't have a meal. She would go to the house with a bag of groceries. It didn't end in the classroom. It didn't end on the school steps. She went out into the community. That is why she was a counselor for Freeport City. That is why she took on all of the different initiatives, her community service initiatives. She was more than just a principal, more than just a teacher. She was someone who reached into the heart of the person and addressed the needs there.
Wayne Smith, who has also known Anita Doherty for most of his life, says she was a disciplinarian but displayed tough love.
Mrs. Doherty with a arthritis hand. I've seen her slap, chastise, and then she will tell you why she will slap you, because you were not a duck. So she will make sure the discipline came with a reason behind disciplining you. She was an advocate for children. She was one who would always defend the children first and then tell you why you ought to give the children a chance. She never gave up on no child.
Smith taking the opportunity to extend condolences on behalf of the entire Warrior family, adding that the legend and icon known as Anita Doherty will surely be missed, but will never be forgotten. Doherty passed away at the age of 73.
But I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know.
President of Creative Works Peter Adderley issuing a statement on the death of educator and sports legend Anita Doherty. Adderley says Doherty's passing marks a sad and tremendous loss of one of our nation's top all-around female athletes, championship coach, influential and caring educator, strong community leader, devout Anglican, and powerful woman of God. Adderley notes that Anita Doherty has positively impacted countless lives and that her Hall of Fame athletic talents carry international recognition. He says her trailblazing work at the Hawksbill and Freeport High School and now Bishop Michael Eldon School is legendary. Adderley writes that Doherty's decades of contributions with the Pilot Club are remarkable. He notes that she loved her family and proved to be a dear friend. He says no matter her worldwide travels, West End Grants Bahama remained her first and favorite love. Peter Adderley stating that he was privileged to work many projects and events with Anita Doherty, among them the first ever Grants Bahama Games. He says she was committed to excellence and she will be sorely missed. Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
BAF General and Health Insurance has you covered for everything that life throws at you. We are here to protect you and your family and everything you work so hard to achieve. We cover you with liability, auto, home, marine, and commercial insurance. See a BAF General and Health Insurance agent today so we can have you covered. BAF for life.
Esquire Men's Freeport presents Passion for Fashion, Saturday, April 23rd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Lucaya Shopping Center. Admission is free.
How well do you know Grand Bahama? We'd like to find out. Tune into the ZNS Northern Service Facebook page beginning next Wednesday, April 6th during the 6:30 newscast as we feature a new trivia series called Grand Bahama Facts. Every Wednesday and Friday, we will be bringing you trivia questions about Grand Bahama. Thank you to the Ministry for Grand Bahama, our official sponsor for Season 1 of Grand Bahama Facts.
Breaking news as it happens in the palm of your hands. Download the ZNS app and keep up with your favorite radio stations, breaking news articles, and live coverage wherever you are. The ZNS app, available in the Android and iOS store.
Friday at 6 p.m. An all-new Sports 360.
Lane number 3, the Bahamas, 6 goals.
As 7 top swimmers from Grand Bahama prepare to compete against the strongest swimmers in the region. Here are their expectations for the 35th annual The Rift to Swim Championships set to take place in Barbados. Only on the ZNS television network.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Recreational. Show me the emotion. Hey, wine and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Administrators and staff of the Grand Bahama Children's Home reflecting on the royal visit. The Children's Home was the first stop for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge when they arrived on Grand Bahama this past Saturday. Those at the Children's Home say it was certainly a very special day for the children who spent some quality time with the royal couple. Azure Quant reports.
It was just hours ago when the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge visited the Grand Bahama Children's Home, and right behind me you will see the soccer post where the Duke would have played with the boys while the Duchess sat on this very same bench interacting with the girls. Now, Executive Director of the Grand Bahama Children's Home, Joan Hutchinson, exclusively speaking with ZNS News Team on how they felt about the visit. While visiting the children's home, the royal couple had the opportunity to interact with the kids, including an art mosaic that they started for them, symbolizing that although the children may be broken, the pieces were still able to be put back together. They also took to the playground where one young boy had a first-time experience with the Duke by his side.
We have swings and slides, and so he took one of our children that is actually physically disabled, put him on the swing, pushed him, and then the young man wanted to go on the slide, and so he actually helped him to get on the slide and come down, which was his first time on a slide. So again, the care and the concern and just the human element that they brought to the Grand Bahama Children's Home was very special for us, very memorable.
Executive Director June Hutchinson says that the children had so many questions once the royals left, one of which was if they too were royalty.
So we had to tell them, we're all special, they're royal, but you're special. But again, it was putting them on a platform that they were special, that no other children can. They have bragging rights, let's say, because none of the other children in their class when they go to school can say that they got pushed on a swing or that they actually got to touch and hug and have a conversation with royalty.
She says mental health is one of the Duke and Duchess's concerns and notes that the royal couple wanted to know what the home is doing for the children on the topic of mental health. She says they also asked how they can assist.
Though we knew that it wouldn't necessarily be any monetary donations, they do have foundations that perhaps they'll be able to put us in touch with to be able to help us to help the children better, particularly with mental health and any other concerns that we have to help the children to thrive as we want them to.
Hutchinson expresses that during the visit, the royal couple were very personable, down to earth, and very sincere in their approach to the children and talked to them about their needs.
The humility that, even at that level, to be the mothering and fathering that they brought as in their position just speaks to us all. We just have to care about one another, even the least of our children. Just have that love and concern for the children. So that the care that I saw come through from them just has changed my perspective in a very warm way, and I thank them very much for that.
Now, she says although the royal couple has already left, she encourages the community to continue partnering with the Grand Bahama Children's Home. I'm Azure Quant, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time for a check on sports with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. Well, guess what? It's all about the ladies today when it comes to softball and also soccer. Rising Stars Softball is preparing to travel to Florida for competition. The girls softball team has been going hard in practice the past few weeks.
Right now, we are engaging upon some travel. We leave the island next weekend to go to Cocoa Beach. There's a tournament up in Cocoa Beach, and so there's going to be a tournament including games and practice sessions with some college coaches, university coaches. And so we figure that exposure for the girls, that opportunity for the girls, they can only benefit from it. So we decided to put a team together, conduct some practice sessions, and they've been going pretty well.
Coach Desmond says it's all about giving the girls the opportunity to showcase their talents.
We want to be competitive, but we want to win. But overall, if one of the girls, two of the girls, if all the girls could come back here with some opportunities to go to school, that's what it's all about. We just want to give them the opportunity to showcase their talent.
Practice has been going pretty good, actually. You know, we come out there, we train, we work hard. So I think we're going to be able to do well, and we travel next weekend.
Girls soccer is back at the YMCA in full swing. If you don't believe me, then ask Coach Mary Knowles.
We started about 3 weeks ago with older ladies, and I was shocked that ladies not quite my age, but 10 years junior, started coming out, and we've been having as many as 25. Oh, we had 18 one day, but we have about 25 in and out. Of course, they're parents now, and it depends on what their children's schedule is. So it's going to be informal, you know, bring your kids if that's what it takes to get you out here type of little run around with them. Also, we have some young girls in that group, so we're hoping that would start our Champions League back. We hope to, when the kids come back from college, maybe start up a 7-a-side, not the 11-a-side as usual, but a 7-a-side type league, maybe in June.
That's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
KMW Battery and Tires. Brake installation. Brake parts not included. Labor starts at $40. Open up Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in today.
Spring into savings at any of Modiva's 2 locations and save 25% off. And guys, check out their men's casual wear selection at the East Sunrise location. Shop Modiva's where they dress you from head to toe.
Need to relax comfortably away from home? Experience Bell Channel Inn Resort. Cozy rooms on the waterfront, home of Upstairs on the Bay restaurant. At Bell Channel Inn, here we're family.
Off the Deep Edge restaurant comes alive with Karaoke Wednesdays. So grab your buddies to sing along, enjoy house shots and finger food. It's Karaoke Wednesdays from 5 p.m. until at Off the Deep Edge restaurant, Peel Street.
Officer Bo! Officer Bo! You would not believe what I just saw.
What's up, Chris?
As I was doing my community service, I saw this truck going down this road. You would not believe the stuff he was throwing out. He was throwing out tires, refrigerators, TVs, even mattresses.
Calm down, Chris, calm down. Did the truck leave the area yet?
No. It was a big man in a reddish colored truck, and he's still there. I just ran out to the main road to call somebody because I did not want to arrest him by myself. Yeah, that's good for you, nasty self. You know who you are. Stop like your nastiness. So do your part to keep Grandmama clean. And don't let this be you. Easy way of talking out. All to know. Woman is the boss, you know. Be the boss, be the boss.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
It's that time to shout out our Facebook friend of the day. Today's friend is Sophia Allen. We appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Jamila Missick. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
In the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the price of hosting royals. Legislators tackle financial bills. All bets are off when gambling becomes an addiction. And ZNS Total Sports talks with sprinter Antonique Strawn. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The Bahamas getting rave international reviews following last week's visit of Britain's Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. In the House of Assembly this morning, the Prime Minister spoke to the visit's purpose and addressed commentary about the monarchy's role in the wake of a number of Caribbean countries considering severing colonial ties. Fern Carey has the story.
The nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis, telling House members during proceedings in Parliament Wednesday that the royal visit played a pivotal role in strengthening the bilateral relationship between the Bahamas and the UK while showcasing all the Bahamas has to offer on the world stage. He indicated that as one of the G7 countries, the UK is well placed to support the Bahamas' position with investors and lenders through guarantees and other measures while providing critical support.
We want the Bahamas to be at the forefront of consideration of any enhanced trading relationships. Discussions are underway about providing more scholarships for Bahamian students and exploring ways to expand the exchange of goods and services between our two countries. In particular, we are keen for members of the Bahamian creative and cultural communities to have an opportunity to work in the UK.
Addressing commentary about the cost of the royal visit, Prime Minister Davis said he is still awaiting a final accounting of the trip. However, he explained that it is customary for the cost of such a visit to be shared between the sovereign grant, which is the host country, and the UK Foreign Commonwealth Development Office.
The royal household borne the cost of travel to and from the Bahamas. A corporate donor sponsored the Governor General's reception. In line with the royal protocol, we are asked not to publicize private sponsorship too much to detract from the event. The government of the Bahamas bore accommodation costs for 2 nights. Other third-party costs, such as the cultural events, which to showcase, were paid to Bahamian artisans and creative production talents.
He said other costs like security and domestic travel are the internal costs of various government ministries and agencies and did not require additional expenditure, which the Prime Minister says is the usual practice adopted by all countries regarding official visitors. Meantime, with the role and relevance of the monarchy gaining increasing scrutiny here at home and across the region, the Prime Minister read a statement issued by the Duke and Duchess following their visit to the Caribbean.
Learned so much. What is on the minds of prime ministers, the hopes and ambitions of school children, the day-to-day challenges faced by families and communities. I know that this tour has brought into even sharper focus questions about the past and the future. In Belize, Jamaica, and the Bahamas, that future is for the people to decide upon. I agree with the Duke when he says that it is for the Bahamian people to decide upon their future. For now, it is enough to say that my administration will listen to, participate in, and fully support these discussions.
As the country prepares to celebrate its 50th anniversary as an independent nation, the Prime Minister said he hopes a lively debate continues about the country's future. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, meantime, the Bahamas and all it has to offer seems to have made quite an impression on the royals. International reports citing that the Duke and Duchess FaceTimed their 3 children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, showing them the views from their penthouse suite at the Cove Atlantis Paradise Island Resort. Anonymous sources telling People magazine Prince William and Kate Middleton can't wait to return to the Bahamas with them in the future. Similar comments came during the Duchess's brief address to students at Sybil Strawn Primary this past Friday. At the time, she noted that their children love being by the sea, expressing hope they will be able to experience the Bahamas' clear waters and beautiful beaches before too long. The royals' 3-day visit to the Bahamas was the final leg of a week-long tour of the Caribbean, marking Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee. Let's just say they saved the best for last. Well, it seems most of the recent criminal activities under investigation have taken place in the inner city of New Providence. Well, tonight, the Member of Parliament for one of those communities is appealing for an intervention to put a stop to the high rate of violent crime, particularly murders. Here's Carla Palmer.
The Centerville constituency can be described as a business mecca, a hub of activity by day, and although not limited to, but some consider it to be a hotbed of criminal activity at night here in New Providence. From drugs, gangs, and murders, police are kept busy patrolling that over-the-hill community on a daily basis.
We have had many ups and downs in the Centerville community. We have suffered the loss of life through natural causes and from crime. From the Fort Hill in the north to Wolf Road in the south.
Area Member of Parliament for the Centerville constituency, the Honourable Jomo Campbell, acknowledging the crime challenges from the floor of the House of Assembly Wednesday. While addressing specifically his constituents, who may be aiding the crime problem, he also spoke to the public at large. Senseless is how he's describing the wave of recent killing of young men.
I find this loss to our country quite alarming. I'm aware that some of you must contend with issues at home and in your neighborhoods that may be beyond your capacity to solve. Many of you may be prisoner to your sphere of awareness, thinking that a life of crime is the best option to quickly address whatever economic or social problems you find yourself in. But I am here to tell you that this is not the answer. You can make it out.
Campbell recommitted the government's effort to advance legislation, programs, and initiatives to not only fight crime, but promote better living conditions so that residents could thrive to improve their socioeconomic circumstance. Still, he reminded them that they too have a responsibility.
You have to want to do better. You must realize that doing better takes effort. Doing better takes commitment. Doing better takes determination.
The Centerville Member of Parliament even called on his colleagues to lead by example.
We must try to set an example for those who watch us. Though we are not infallible as members of this House, I do hope that we all can commit to contribute our efforts to the solution and not to the exacerbation of our country's problems.
Campbell reiterated the government's pledge of working assiduously to ensure that the collective good of all individual parliamentarians is advanced from better to best on behalf of all residents. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Well, enough is enough. That sums up National Security Minister, the Honourable Wayne Munro's response to the recent spike in murders. Munro was speaking to the congregation of International Praying Ministries in Coconut Grove, led by Bishop Lawrence Rowe, better known as the Singing Bishop. The National Security Minister cited the gradual shift in violent crimes over his lifespan, reiterating the fact that this issue needs to be initially addressed in the home.
We need to start to impose on our children the value of honest work. Yes. True, it may only be minimum wage, but he's not risking being gunned down in the streets. And so we need everyone to think about it. If we love our children, we have to do our best to keep them on the straight and narrow. It may hurt if the money isn't there. Poverty isn't a reason to commit crime. All kind of poor people in this country are there robbing and killing. So it takes personal responsibility.
Minister Munro adding that since police should be fully equipped to fight the war on crime, funds that would be diverted to assist other social programs are now required to purchase guns and ammunition.
We will only get from this if we decide that enough is enough. Not anybody else. We have to decide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And just as you have ministries like this who step up and help people in need,
yes, sir.
let us start to do things where we could spend more money on things that are good and less money on arms and ammunition, less money on cameras. So it's going to be up to us. For the short term, we're going to have to keep buying guns and ammunition for the police because people don't seem to be getting it at this moment. But if we would just listen to God and behave, we could spend all of that money on the young children and the senior citizens.
Well, Canadian investigators to conduct an independent review into the findings of the government's probe into operations at the Bahamas Department of Corrections under Prison Commissioner Charles Murphy. Murphy was placed on administrative leave soon after the Davis administration assumed office last September, with the National Security Minister revealing that the government faced liability of up to $250,000 after Murphy ordered at least 3 prison officers not to return to work. Those officers were reportedly out for as much as 4 years. While the government's investigation wrapped up several weeks ago, as the minister explains, it's now up to Cabinet to approve a special committee to determine what happens next.
We're working out the details of how, when, and how the persons from Corrections Canada, because we want, when we say independent, we want somebody who isn't connected to the Bahamas, who nobody can say has a horse in the race. And we recently signed a memorandum of understanding with Corrections Canada, and we're working out the basis upon which a retired correctional services officer will head that.
Now, Munro could not say how long it would take to complete the process.
We've come out of COVID lockdown. We've come out of a number of things. We've met the budget that we've met. And unfortunately, I can only operate on the budget that I have. I expect that it will be shortly. But again, not everything is within my control.
In other news this evening, over 250 Haitians are back home today following a repatriation exercise Tuesday. Immigration officials disclosing that the first Bahamas Air chartered flight left around 8:41 a.m. for Port-au-Prince, Haiti, with 71 men, 37 women, and 25 minors on board. Later that day, another 131 Haitian migrants, 114 men, 8 women, and 9 children took a similar flight. The Immigration Department's deportation teams led the escorts with the assurance that all COVID-19 protocols were strictly observed. While still to come, the government steps up efforts to boost renewable energy and the local addiction to gambling, a growing problem. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years. But at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, And together, we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
What makes an icon? Is it 80 years in the business? Or inventing a recipe that changes the way we enjoy chicken around the world? No. What makes an icon are the fans. Order KFC and take home a true mealtime icon.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our client. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis, and officials from the Inter-American Development Bank and the European Union signing a $9 million grant agreement this morning to facilitate greater use of renewable energy in the country. Halkitis also sees it as setting the Bahamas on the path to meet its commitment to the United Nations Sustainable Energy Goals, which speaks to having 30% of the country's energy produced by renewable energy sources by 2030. The Economic Affairs Minister says reducing fossil fuel reliance is important to the Davis administration, and this particularly since Russia's ongoing war with Ukraine drives up the cost of fuel.
In addition to this grant-funded project, we have an energy investment initiative that is currently being funded by the IDB at a cost of $80 million. This project, in summary, entails the installation of renewable energy capacity in East End, Grand Bahama, and in Abaco. The Family Islands are also expected to receive support from the Energy Investment Project, as solar systems will be constructed on these islands to reduce reliance on traditional energy sources. Notwithstanding the IDB investment energy loan, the grant funding operation is expected to complement the investment project, as more than 90% of the finance allocated for this initiative will be channeled towards renewable energy in the Providence and the Family Islands.
Now, IDB Country Representative Daniela Carrera believes the grant is transformative for the Family Islands as it funds 2 microgrids in Marsh Harbor and Cooperstown, Abaco, providing more efficient energy in the event of a natural disaster. She also detailed projects at UB, C.I. Gibson Senior High, and Customs Headquarters, while EU Representative Marianne Van Steen shares the grant's significance from her view.
Because not only they are key locations, but also the University of the Bahamas would serve also as a pilot for training and for providing the energy also for the university.
We were actually, motivated to start with this work together with the IDB following the devastating hurricane in the Bahamas in 2019. But it will not only be about reconstruction, it will also be about building a climate resilient, renewable energy infrastructure.
Well, the COVID-19 pandemic has certainly not placed the country in an ideal position for the government to have a more immediate response to rising gas prices. The Economic Affairs Minister today defended the government's decision not to remove value-added tax from fuel, adding that they anticipate fuel prices will eventually return to normal. Cleopatra Murphy tells us more.
As the price of fuel soars, now exceeding $6 at the pump at 2 fuel suppliers in New Providence, Minister of Economic Affairs Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis insists there is very little government can do to reduce the cost of filling up for motorists. He claims because the Bahamas imports basically everything, it will be disproportionately impacted by global events, namely the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine that has been driving up the cost of fuel.
That brings to immediacy the fact that we need to be concentrating more on renewables. All right, minus any sort of geopolitical disruption, we can expect to see fuel prices go higher. I mean, approach $200 in the next 20, 25 years, just because the cheap sources will be depleted and it becomes more difficult to mine it. And so that even makes it more important what we're doing here today, shifting to renewables.
While Barbados has capped value-added tax on fuel for the next 6 months, Halkitis says there has been a trade-off, as it has also increased taxes in other areas.
I know there was one particular country that was that is being continually referenced. If you read the entire proposal, you would see, for example, in that country that reduced the VAT on the fuel. They introduced a 15% corporate tax surcharge. They also introduced something called a pandemic levy, which is a surplus tax on individual incomes, and they raised taxes on other forms of energy. So it's not in isolation.
The opposition previously called on the Bahamas to follow Barbados' lead to ease the financial burden of fuel cost on Bahamians, with Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis similarly asking in the House of Assembly if Bahamians wanted to pay the resulting taxes. Halkitis contends the public cannot look at the issue in isolation. Because if costs are removed from one area, it has to be placed somewhere else.
We are not unsympathetic. We're very sympathetic because the nature of our economy is that rising energy prices impact the cost of transportation. We import, most of what we produce, so that means that price impact will be felt through that. The price of gas at the pump for individuals and taxi drivers and bus drivers and all of that.
At the end of the day, the Economic Affairs Minister says everything must be looked at taking into context the country's financial sustainability as it emerges from the COVID-19 pandemic. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, it's not chocolate, it's not candy, it's not alcohol, and neither is it drugs. But truth be told, it's equally addictive, and so much so that intervention is warranted. Welcome to the big win, the world of gambling addiction.
No sugarcoating. It's an addiction. And as Dr. Sean Knowles, a physician at Sandilands Rehabilitation Center, makes clear, that in itself speaks to the fact that there's nothing good about it. Gambling addiction, or disorder as officials opt to refer to it, is diagnosed based on 9 set criteria, at least 4 of which have taken place within a given year. So let's see if you pass the test.
The first one is needs to gamble with increasing amounts of money in order to achieve the excitement, is restless or irritable when attempting to cut down or to stop gambling. Number 3 has made repeated unsuccessful attempts to either control or cut out or stop gambling. Number 4 is often preoccupied with gambling and constantly thinking of new ventures and ways of trying to win monies. The next one is often gambles when feeling distressed. After losing money, gambling often returns another day to get even, which we call chasing one's losses. lies, and this is a big one, lies to conceal the extent of involvement with gambling.
Add to that having jeopardized or lost a significant relationship, job, or career opportunity. And the final one relies on others to provide money for financial obligations. Of course, as with any addiction, there are varying severities, mild, moderate, or severe. Now that you know the signs and symptoms and can hopefully eliminate yourself from the pool, here's who's most vulnerable.
I see a whole lot of women. In fact, statistics have shown that once a woman starts gambling, she has the likelihood of really developing a gambling disorder within that 1 year. And so I've seen a lot of women who have, for example, here in the Bahamas, have gone spinning, have gone to the number houses. They would take either children's monies, needed for their school fees or for, food, etc., to gamble because of the addictive nature of it.
Some person who would just start to gamble just for fun, but then of course they would have gotten a big win, meaning they would play with a little $5 and they win $100, $150, so that excites them. So what they do is they try to get that thrill and that win again. So they go on and on and on. And sometimes they're lost, and then they start to chase their losses.
We stress here that not everyone who gambles has a disorder. Furthermore, Dr. Knowles admits it's difficult to pinpoint how many people fall into this category due to a lack of extensive research, coupled with the fact that not everyone admits they have a problem. However, based on global stats, that's anywhere between 0.1 and 6% of the population.
Well, now to news from Parliament. Minister of State for Legal Affairs, the Honourable Jomo Campbell, opened debate this morning on a compendium of financial bills, including amendments to the Register of Beneficial Ownership Act.
These amendments are required to provide for the continued modernization of our international regulatory obligations, including providing adequate penalty provisions to be a deterrent to violations of the law. As Parliament would be aware, the Register of Beneficial Owners Act 2018, ROBO, was passed to provide for the competent authority to establish and maintain an electronic database of beneficial owner details for all corporate and legal entities registered in the Bahamas, and to permit search of the database of every corporate and legal entity registered or resident in the Bahamas.
Taking the lead for the opposition was Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, who endorsed the amendments.
I'm advised that this compendium of bills seek to fulfill our international obligations and keep us off of the blacklist. Mr. Deputy, we live in a global community, and therefore we must operate within the rules of that global community, even if we are not the author of those rules. The Free National Movement in our time in office has overseen a tremendous effort to ensure that we were removed from the FATF, the CATF, France, and the EU blacklist.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
From the time we open, we create moments of joy for everyone we serve. We use every encounter to show how we are different. Stop in and enjoy our freshly prepared breakfast on the go for your family. Or even having your favorite food delivered where you can easily connect with your friends. Our commitment is serving you quality food from our restaurant. Go ahead and dip your French fries in your Frosty. Cheers to better days ahead. That's what makes Wendy's different on the inside and out.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
My name is Nathaniel Gilbert. People call me Top Cat. I was born in Cat Island, but a little town called Bainstown, just east of here. My love for the ocean, it came from I was a kid. My grandfather was a fisherman. He was a sailor, a waterman, and he taught me all I know about the ocean. I could cross the ocean without an instrument. All of my fishing and guiding is wading. I love the water. Fly fishing it's another story. And then we'll go out in the flats and we'll walk and stock a fish and don't need training. All I'm doing is pointing that fish out to you and it'll be all yours. The best part would be finding the fish and catching the fish because that is what you really come for. That's what you want. The reason for catch and release is reserving the fish because you don't want to kill the bonefish. But for me, I just love it. Sometimes I would walk or ride a bike down to the flats and just grab my gears. You go out there and you just practice different casting and different positions and what have you and whatever. And it does good for me. I just love that island. I love throwing that fly at a fish and just watch him take off after it. There's nothing to compare with it.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Anything you need, we got you covered. Say the word and we'll come through. So if you need coverage for life, choose BAF, they'll get it right. Just go out and do it. It's your life, so just live it. So anything you want, you can get it. It's time to get it right. So we rollin' with BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we going with BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we choosing BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we rollin' with BAF for life. BAF for life. If you want coverage for life, choose BAF, they'll get it right. Yes, that's the best choice. BAF, that's BAF for life.
money is easy this week. Just shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Riceland long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $3.75. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, 2 for $2.19. Mart's apple juice, 1 gallon, $6.99. Sweet mangoes, 2 for $3. Bone-in chicken breasts, $1.99 per pound. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Work on the Southern Recreation grounds in the heart of the city progressing. Construction on Phase 2 is nearly completed, with the official opening anticipated before summer. Lloyd Allen visited the site today.
The new Southern Recreation grounds softball field is going through its final fittings just in time for Easter.
We started the project, the overall project, about 2 years ago. We completed phase 1. On that side of the project is a playground, basketball court. There are some outdoor fitness tables for gaming, as well as a walking trail for persons to come out and enjoy.
Bahamas Striping Managing Director Dr. Alan Albury identifying some of the project's challenges since its inception. The goal is to conclude construction on this important community hub with added amenities as soon as possible.
This section involves the upgrades to the softball field. We included the construction of covered bleacher stands, which you'll see going around the perimeter, as well as the upgrades to the bathroom block, the concession stand, and certainly the signature would be the upgrades to the field.
Albury says the Diamond Pro mound clay and grass on the field were imported and are industry standard, a critical component needed to market the field internationally. Project manager Michelle Roberts notes that all inspections have been successful, with final tweaks remaining to increase safety and tech options before the park's official opening.
We would have installed 24 CTV cameras along with offering the free Wi-Fi. So the opportunity it presents is that when we house games locally, persons or schools, in various communities and throughout the Family Islands will be able to have access live, watching the games if they are not able to physically come to the games.
Well, during the Easter holiday, while you're enjoying that hot cross bun and fish, a good outdoor activity might be to come out here and enjoy a game. Reporting from the Southern Recreation Grounds Park, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Well, Sandals Royal Bahamian celebrating Women's Month, and to do so, it's partnered with a number of organizations to empower and uplift females. One of their many give-back initiatives, a donation of menstrual and hygiene supplies to the Willie Mae Pratt Center for Girls. The items included sanitary napkins, hand sanitizers, bath towels, and soap. Sandals executives, along with Executive Chief Colin Watson, provided a meal for the young women and promised a birthday cake each month to celebrate the special day. The center's superintendent, Monique Greenslade, applauded Sandals.
Together, we can make a difference in the lives of persons who come here. Together, we can change lives for safer Bahamas. And having a safer Bahamas, Sandals benefit because our crime rate will be down and tourists will want to come here and be at your resort. And so let us continue to partner. We are pleased that you're taking the time out to just to be here with us, and we appreciate it.
Noting the resort's main objective is to positively impact more lives, Sandals hotel manager Derek Meany assured the young women that they will continue to lend a helping hand.
We just had to jump on board because it's the passion and pride of Sandals, and we even have a Sandals Foundation that we love to go into our communities that help support us to make things better for everybody, for the island, the destination and its people, and we just had to jump at the opportunity.
Well, several local artists are now equipped with a bit of new knowledge courtesy of a music webinar. The month-long training session, organized by the Ministries of Youth, Sports and Culture and Economic Affairs, along with the Caribbean Export Development Agency, sharpened the skills of over 40 participants in the areas of branding, royalty, compensation and metadata, among others. Youth, Sports and Culture Minister, the Honourable Mario Boleg, and Economic Affairs Minister, Senator the Honourable Michael Halkitis, share how these initiatives propel the government's mandate to boost the orange economy.
As we move to make culture a viable economic sector in the Bahamas, there will be more training and programs in the very near future by the Division of Culture for our cultural artists, creatives in the area of arts management and administration and the business of the art. I encourage all to participate and take advantage of these trainings and programs to further enhance your skills and elevate your talents to the world stage.
Our mission is to ensure that the creative artists have the opportunity to make a living, expand the industry. And so to the extent that we can provide what we call technical assistance in terms of advice and training like we've done here, and to the extent that we can assist with the marketing and opening up markets and providing funds, that is our job.
For Senior Cultural Officer and musical artist Zenobia Pierre, workshops like these help local artists receive fair compensation for their work.
In this, it showed us just how lazy we've been. It showed us just how much we do not know. And it gave us an idea as to how we need to now go back and clean up. If we are placed in a position like this again, I mean, the world has never experienced this before. If musicians, it doesn't matter who we are, any artist and what have you, is placed in a position like this, where we are unable to physically go out there, we need to realize that once my song is played, if it's played in Japan because a DJ who came to Bahamas and bought the CD or saw the music or whatever, decide that he wants to stream it or play it for a commercial or what have you, once a ISRC code is embedded in my song, that means royalties is going to hit it, and Zenobia Pierre's song was played in Japan, and when I get my royalties, I can be like, hey, I'm making money, honey.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
You're always on the go. We know life can be a daily rush. CIBC, First Caribbean, you can count on us. We make life easier. Manage your accounts at any time. Apply for a loan. It's easy when you bank online. We make life easier with choices that suit you. CIBC, First Caribbean.
We get it. Life happens. And when it does, Easy Payday is here for you. Whether it's cash for school fees, a vacation, or even a loan consolidation, no matter what your needs are, we are here for you when you need us most. Eligible applicants can borrow up to $15,000. Visit us at our new location on University Drive. Give us a call at 603-0200 or apply online at easypayday.loans. Easy Payday loans are simple, fast, and easy.
When you testify in court, you're expected to tell the truth. Same goes for your insurance application form. You have to answer every question truthfully and provide all the information requested, or you could be found guilty of misrepresentation. That means your insurance company could deny your policy or refuse to pay your claim. Your insurance company relies on the information you provide to determine whether to issue you a policy. Leaving out just one piece of information could lead to misrepresentation. So read your application form carefully. If you're unsure about anything, ask your insurance agent or broker before completing and signing your insurance application form. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
More than 1,000 Abaco and Grand Bahama homeowners still awaiting assistance from the government's small home repairs program following 2019's Hurricane Dorian. Minister of State responsible for the Disaster Reconstruction Authority, the Honorable Miles Larota, telling reporters that a large number of homeowners haven't yet been approved. He says homes with varying degrees of damage were supposed to be assessed, adding that the government owes some $400,000 to the contractor for the work completed.
We are at a point now where we have sourced the funds with regards to about 2,600 residents at various stages of the home repairs. That would be from about 2,500 and capped at 10,000. What we have to do, there are about 3,700 people in total, so there's an additional 1,100 people who have applied for assistance. However, the former cabinet only approved 2,600, so we have to go back to cabinet for approval for those other, just say under 1,100 people. I expect that to be done pretty shortly.
Well, we've been providing an update on infrastructural upgrades in the Berry Islands for several days now, an issue that's plagued residents there for quite some time. On the agenda, a new international airport set for May 2022, a road paving project, and further development of the Bullocks Harbour Dock, a critical business hub for the Berry Islands. Member of Parliament for North Andros and the Berry Islands, Leonardo Lightbourne, says structural plans for the dock are on the table.
The cry of the community is it's beyond. This is something that is needed. It's where the Bimini shipping, Lady Great Dean, and a few other cargo ships that comes and bring packages here for the community. I understand the blueprints are complete or just about complete. So we're looking at about a few months now, and we'd start the actual paving and restructuring of the dock. So I want to let the residents know here in Bullocks Harbour that they will have a dock in a few months.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Recreational. We are under partly cloudy skies. The temperature at 77 degrees. Relative humidity starting to climb 69%, and the winds are out of the east-southeast at 17 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1,019.4 millibars. That is 30.07 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Torquay, and Marsh Harbour, Abaco, the Berry Islands at 79 degrees. Allenstown, Bimini, 78, 77 in Harbour Island. Rock Sandy, Lutris, 78 degrees. 78 also in Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space at Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. 78 again in Allenstown, Cadalum, San Salvador, and Rumkey, Georgetown, 79 degrees. 78 in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megawana, 80, Acklands, 80, Matchewtown, and Nagua, 79, and the Texas Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight, it is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwest and Central Islands tonight through Thursday, the winds are going to be east to southeast, speeds 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet, so caution flags up for your boaters in the Northwest and Central Bahamas through Thursday. High tide will take place at 7:42 this evening, and another high tide at 8:02 tomorrow morning. Now for the southeast Bahamas through Thursday, east to southeast winds 15 to 25 knots with very rough sea conditions, 5 to 8 feet. Advisories remain in place for boaters in the southeast Bahamas into Thursday. But on Friday, we will see a significant reduction in those winds. For the northwestern islands, it will be southerly at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights down 2 to 4 feet, so we'll drop the caution flags on Friday. High tide, 8:45 in the morning, low tide at 2:59 in the afternoon in the central and southeastern islands on Friday. Winds also reducing southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet with no caution flags in place. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. going to do it for you. International temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast.
Started with today's lesson. Bobby, can you tell me the national bird of the Bahamas?
Miss J, we can't hear Bobby because he's fooling around with the other guys.
All right now, y'all settle down. That's okay, Bobby. I'll have a talk with your mom. It's time to transform the way you learn.
Transform the way you learn and improve your in-home Wi-Fi coverage with Eero.
The COVID-19 pandemic isn't over yet. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are now available at South Beach Clinic on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. On Wednesday at Flamingo Gardens Clinic, 1 to 5 p.m. Elizabeth Estates Clinic, 3 to 6 p.m. and Fleming Street from 4 to 6 p.m. And at the mall at Marathon, Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Visit vax.gov.bs to book your appointment. Walk-ins are welcome. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO, WHO, and USA.
My name is Alicia Poitea, and I've been using the Molfix brand for almost 10 years now. What I love about the Molfix brand is that it is of great quality, and I currently use it on my 2-year-old and my 5-month-old. I haven't had any issues with irritability or rashes or anything of that sort. What I love most about the Molfix brand is that I get value for money, and that to me is awesome.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Hungry and looking for something so satisfying? Something to truly tantalize your taste buds? Then make it Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. Also serving up a variety of delicious wings, freshly cooked to order under 10 minutes. With 2 locations to serve you. Mall at Marathon, open from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. And the East-West Highway, next to Solomon's, from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. That's Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. 393-3100.
Started with today's lesson. Bobby, can you tell me the national bird of the Bahamas?
Miss J, we can't hear Bobby because he's fooling around with the other guys.
All right now, y'all settle down. That's okay, Bobby. I'll have a talk with your mom. It's time to transform the way you learn.
Transform the way you learn and improve your in-home Wi-Fi coverage with Eero.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that I could be, we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Tony Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your sports on this Wednesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. Well, over the weekend, she shocked the global track and field world after she became the new world leader in the women's 100 meters after clocking a personal best of 10.99 seconds at the John Woolmer Speed Fest in Jamaica. Tonight, the ZNS Total Sports team caught up with Bahamian sprinter Anthony Strawn, became the 7th Bahamian woman to run sub-11 in history.
After everything sort of registered and stuff to say that I actually was able to analyze and soak in everything. It was great. I was happy with the performance, even though the execution wasn't the best. I was happy with it. I'm excited that I do have the world lead right now because it can change this weekend or any day. But for right now, I'm glad that I was the first person to give it a legal 10, and it was a PB. I honestly feel as if it was forever chasing this time, even though I'm not well, let me not say that I'm not. I've never seen myself as a 100-meter runner, but I clearly do right now. So.
Sean also spoke about starting the year off on a good foot after what she described as a tumultuous 2021.
I just decided to throw away last year's season because it wasn't the best for me. Let me not say that it wasn't the best for me because I did produce really nice times despite everything. But the energy and the vibes of last year's season just wasn't something that I wanted. So I totally disregard last year's season because I didn't want to bring that negativity into a new year with me. So, yeah. But I am happy that I able to put myself out there and make my agent's job easier and my coaches be able to see that their program is actually helping me. I could also see it too. So it takes a load off of my shoulder.
Key to Strawn's development and recent success is her training with the MVP Track Club based in Jamaica, home to several of the world's top sprinters.
Been very instrumental because throughout my entire career, nobody has actually worked diligently to help correct my technique and form, which was my biggest problem. And coaches would try to explain things, but whenever you say that you don't understand, they tend to get frustrated and question on why you don't understand. But here at MVP, if I tell my coaches oh, I don't understand what you saying, what you want me to do. I understand what you're saying and what corrections I need to be made, but can you break it down simpler for me to actually be able to achieve that? They do it. And I wouldn't say that I'm the easiest person to teach something to because it does take me a very long time to get something sports-wise. So they've been really patient and they've been helping along with my teammates and stuff like that.
And with outdoor competition gearing up, Strawn on what's on her immediate agenda.
Currently, I don't have nothing major on my agenda. I'm just doing meet because I'm trying to open up and basically everything and all the events that I usually do to see what I could actually do because this is technically going to be my best season. But I'm speaking it out there to say that it's going to be my best season thus far. I don't really have anything planned per se. I'm just going to open up in different sprint events and whatever hits. So that's about it.
And that's a look at sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
Saving money is easy this week. Just shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Riceland long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $3.75. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, 2 for $2.19. Mart's apple juice, 1 gallon, $6.99. Sweet mangoes, 2 for $3. Bone-in chicken breasts, $1.99 per pound. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The COVID-19 pandemic isn't over yet. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are now available at South Beach Clinic on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. On Wednesday at Flamingo Gardens Clinic, 1 to 5 p.m. Elizabeth Estates Clinic, 3 to 6 p.m. and Fleming Street from 4 to 6 p.m. And at the mall at Marathon, Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Visit vax.gov.bs to book your appointment. Walk-ins are welcome. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO, WHO, and USA.
What? Check old girl, boy. Say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, a satellite picture showing that high pressure will remain in control through Thursday, so the winds will be on the brisk side. But come Friday, it will start sliding towards the east, and we will see a reduction in those winds. So we'll be dropping caution flags on Friday up this week. Our forecast for tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy and mild conditions. Low temperature around 70 degrees, and tomorrow it's going to be mostly sunny with winds gradually subsiding late in the evening and nighttime hours. High temperature tomorrow should get up to about 83 degrees. And the extended weather forecast, we're going to have beautiful weather for the next several days in terms of sunshine, and the nighttime temperatures warming up slightly, but still will remain somewhat on the comfortable side into Friday. The weekend is looking pretty nice, a little bit on the warmer side as those temperatures start to get back up into the 80s. Okay, sure.
Well, thanks, Basil. And we want to take this moment to wish special birthday greetings to 3 of our colleagues: News Assignment Manager Andrea Janor, Television Supervisor Agatha Christie, and Television Production Assistant Siobhan Cooper-Davis. We certainly hope you all enjoyed your special day. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.